Leaked intel, global outrage, and a plot that has shaken Africa to its core. U.S. forces were reportedly caught planning the assassination of Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso. But what happened next wasn't just retaliation. It sparked a continent-wide awakening. Watch till the end to see how Africa responded. Hi there. Let's talk about the latest trending story. Now everyone everywhere on social media in Africa are saying hands off Burkina Faso. They are saying that the U.S., together with the France, are trying to overthrow the leader of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré. And this is a statement from one of the political parties in South Africa, Pan-African political parties that have also been targeted by these Western neo-C colonialist imperialists. And the story behind this, which I'll be coming back to it later, is that they are not happy because of Ibrahim Traoré. In a recent video that was shared online from one of the Congress hearing in the U.S., they have this parliament called the Congress. Absolutely, Chairman. I see this and I don't mind calling them out, but Cabinator and Big Kinau, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. So in the Congress hearing, there was the general from the U.S. Army being questioned about the steps they are taking to remove Ibrahim Traoré from power. And this senator was basically saying that he have heard, and I'm sure he cannot even point out where Burkina Faso is on the map, but he says he've heard that the CCP, he means China, the China Communist Party. They don't even call China China. They call it the Chinese China, communist political party, basically. So the CCP, that's what he said, has been getting a lot of gold from Burkina Faso and paying gold, giving money to this young man. He's been putting all that money in his pocket. That's what they were saying. He was saying, the senator, he was also saying that the Russians are also there, that he's giving gold to Russians to protect him. So that's what they were saying. So they were saying the U.S. needs to do something to stop Russia and China getting gold from Ibrahim Traoré, and that's basically what the video was all about. And that's why a lot of people, including the political parties in Africa, are saying these Americans should stay away from Burkina Faso now last night, so that you see how serious it is. And this is on BBC. It is something that was posted 23 hours ago. It's the latest story. It's that Burkina Army says it has foiled a major coup plot. So according to the Minister of Security, this man here, his name is Nana, he says last night they were attacked. The residency of Ibrahim Traoré was attacked by a group of about between 20 to 30 mercenaries, and they managed to stop these guys, and they arrested some of them and questioned them and found out some of them are saying that they came from Ivory Coast. So they were attacking that place, or trying to remove him from power, attacking from the south, from the neighboring country of Ivory Coast. For those who have no idea, Burkina Faso is this country on up here, Ivory Coast, is this country on the south, and this line here is the Atlantic Ocean. So Ivory Coast touches the Atlantic Ocean. On the right, Ivory Coast borders Ghana. This very nice country here is Ghana. This Burkina Faso, these Ivory Coast, so they attacked from here to Burkina to try to remove him. But he found out, because this is not the first time, it is the 7th attempt to remove him. So he has been very keen on his security, because he knows these Western countries want to remove him. And the other thing you need to understand is Ivory Coast. This is the last remaining stronghold of French influence in West Africa. All other countries, the neighboring country of Mali, which is the country here. Then we have Burkina. Then we have Nigeria. All these countries have managed to kick out the French from their country. And someone would ask, why were the French there, and why are they not letting Burkina Faso decide their own destiny? Because I'm going to show you a chart right now, and you can go to this website. By the way, it's called Business Insider Africa. Not Africa Insider, Business Insider. It's not my magazine. It's an American business magazine. And they're saying the top 10 gold-producing countries in Africa. And they're saying most countries in West Africa, basically that's what they're saying here in the subtitle, produce gold. And the list is here. In Africa, Ghana last year, according to the report, produced 135 metric t of gold. So Ghana is the top producer of gold in Africa. Then we have South Africa down here producing 104. And above South Africa we have Mali, which is the other country next to Burkina Faso. And you remember the story of the richest man to have ever lived on Earth. His name was Mansa Musa. He was from Mali. The kingdom then was called what? I can't remember how it was called, but it was in Mali. So the same region still has a lot of gold. That's why France doesn't want to leave, because they've been stealing that gold for more than 100 years. Right now, France has close to 6,000 metric tons of gold reserve in their central bank. All that gold is gold storing from here. Then we have South Africa. Now you know South Africa, the success story of South Africa, among other things. It is a country that was jump-started by mining, jump-started by gold, and then also jump-started by diamonds. That's how the economy grew in the 70s, 80s because of that. And today they still mine 104 metric tons of gold every year. And guess who is number 4, with almost 100, very close to South Africa? Burkina Faso, and no one in Africa, I think, knew this. 98.6 is almost 99 metric tons of gold every year. Almost 100 metric tons of gold every year. A kilo of gold right now is going for about $100,000. So 101,000 of them a ton would cost something like, multiply that by what? 100, right? No, 1,000. Sorry for that. 1,000. So that will give you 100 million, right? $100 million for 1 ton. And definitely if you multiply it by 100 million, which Burkina Faso produces, you quickly get to about 10 billion United States dollar. That is the amount of gold Burkina Faso extracts. Now their GDP last year was 17 billion. Not a lot. $17 billion of GDP. But they produced $10 billion worth of gold. So they're trying to tell us the other sector only produced $6 billion. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And that points to the fact that Burkina Faso has always been rich. Burkina Faso is a candidate that France has always stolen from, and now the West is scared that now Burkina Faso might get a lot of money from their gold after they kicked out the French companies that were stealing it, and that's why they need to remove this guy. And it's not the first time. In 1986, another man called Thomas Sankara, the guy on the right in this photo, was assassinated because he was trying to do the same thing. But back in 1986, we didn't have social media. We didn't even have internet. So we didn't know what happened. The newspapers were lying to us, saying that he had an accident. The next day, they said he was killed by his troops. Now today we know he was assassinated by mercenaries sent by France to remove him from power, because he was trying to kick out the French companies that were stealing gold and tin. This country is also rich in tin. But have you noticed that where you find a lot of gold, you can also find tin? I don't know. It's like the soil that produces these minerals are almost the same. Anyway, I'm not a geologist. I don't want to talk about minerals. I know nothing about minerals, but I know something about Africa geopolitics, and that's what I'm talking about. So they're trying to remove him just like they did to Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara was removed before Ibrahim Traoré was born. He's that young. Ibrahim Traoré is younger. He was born the same year Thomas Sankara was killed. So he's as old as the other hero was removed from power. I don't know whether it makes sense. And now you understand why people are not happy. Now I'm going to play you that clip, which he's talking about how he's going to remove it. Now people are also not happy that US has this thing called the US Africa Command. So when I looked it up, it's they even have like a logo for it. And it looks like an African logo with the African shield, you know, almost like the Maasai Kenyan shield or the South African Zulu shield they used to carry with Asai spears. So that's the logo they have. Very provocative. They're insulting us, you know. And then according to the description is that it's a branch of the United States government. You can see they even have a HQ, US Africa Command HQ somewhere. I don't know which country. I think the US. It has military bases, as you can see in this blue. Not blue. I don't know the red regions. I don't know. I have no idea. But their job is simple, to basically plan and strategize how to remove power or leaders in Africa. Yes, that's their job. And now the commander, the man in the middle here, he's General someone, his name is General I think Langley, and he's a Negro. He's a Negro. He's a black man. And he's the one who was saying that they have some plan to remove Ibrahim Traoré, and people are not happy because they're saying they use yes. His name is General Michael Langley. He's the commander of the US Africa Command. He's the man they are trying to use to remove another black man. Black people in the U.S. are not happy that they use a house Negro. They are calling him a house Negro to remove the only leader in Africa who seems to be doing the right thing. So they are not happy about it, and then they're trying to basically make it known all over the world that they are not going to support this. So, hands off Ibrahim Traoré, hands off Burkina. The world held its breath as bombshell reports surfaced, revealing a covert U.S. plot to assassinate Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the fearless leader of Burkina Faso. Documents, intercepted communications, and insider leaks all pointed to a calculated plan, one designed to silence a leader who had become too bold, too independent, and too influential. For many, this wasn't just news. It was confirmation of what had long been suspected, that, when African leaders refuse to bow, refuse to compromise their sovereignty, and choose their people over Western approval, they become targets. But what the architects of this plot didn't expect was Africa's response. Within hours, the streets of Ouagadougou were filled, not with fear, but with fury. Men, women, and children held signs that read, "Hands off our leader. Africa is not for sale, and we stand with Traoré." Protests erupted across Mali, Niger, Chad, Guinea, and even into the African diaspora in Paris, London, and New York. The message was clear. Any threat to Traoré was a threat to every African who dreams of freedom on African terms. And Traoré? He didn't run. He didn't hide. He stepped forward with the calm, steel gaze the world has come to recognize. In an urgent national address, he confirmed the intelligence findings and spoke directly to his people, not with panic, but with power. They fear what we are becoming, he said. They fear a free Africa, an Africa that no longer asks for permission. That is why they try to silence me. But they cannot silence all of us. He called for resilience, not revenge, for vigilance, not violence, and he vowed to strengthen internal security, expose every collaborator involved, and rally other African leaders to unite against external manipulation once and for all. The global reaction was swift. Western officials denied involvement while international media scrambled to verify the details. But on social platforms, the people had already made up their minds. The truth, whether whispered or shouted, had broken through, and it could no longer be contained. Political analysts called it a turning point. The moment when Africa's awakening went from quiet resistance to full-blown revolution. Traoré's refusal to be intimidated has now become the rallying cry for a generation. Young Africans rising to reclaim their narrative, their power, and their future. Traoré's legacy is still being written. But if this moment proved anything, it's that leadership built on truth, loyalty, and courage cannot be bought, silenced, or assassinated. His survival is not just physical, it is symbolic. It means the movement lives on, because the bullets of foreign plots cannot stop the heartbeat of a people united. And as long as Ibrahim Traoré stands, so does the vision of an Africa that answers to no one but itself, and that, the world is learning, is a power far greater than any weapon.